Hey friends, it's Addie. Thank you for joining me for this wall yoga class. So what do you need for a wall yoga class? Obviously, you need a wall. You need space on the wall to reach wide, and you need space on the wall to reach overhead. And so you'll need to find a pretty blank wall in your house. I like to hang things on the wall, so it's kind of hard for me to find one in my house, but I do have this one, and I just have to avoid this light switch, or that might be interesting. Let's talk yoga mats. At the very least, you need one yoga mat, and you'll put the long edge parallel to the wall. Now, I've got this round one that reaches out further, and that's for later in the practice. So you may want a second mat. What I would recommend for your second mat, make it like a capital T. I would put the mat that's perpendicular to the wall, so the short edge up against the wall, reaching out long. I would put that under the mat that's parallel to the wall. And it'll be there in place for you when you need it later in the practice. Now, if you don't have two mats and you just have one, start with the one that's parallel. And then I'll be sure and cue when we're going to want it turned the other way. Two mats is better because that's a little bit of an awkward space having to move the mat, but we all do what we need to do, right? And it's almost go time, so I have linked a playlist in the description. If you are using my playlist, hit play. And let's get started. We'll begin with our hips and our shoulders up against the wall. So finding some nice straight posture. Your heels are probably out from the wall just a smidge, and let your knees be fluid, flexible, not stiff and locked in. We'll drop the fingertips towards the floor gently and let your eyes drift closed as you bring your awareness to the breath. Starting by noticing the flow in and out of the nose. And allowing the breath to deepen. So we're feeling it in the belly. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Continue on your own. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Feeling a calmness and peace sweep over the body. Staying right with this breath practice. When you come to your next inhale, sweep the arms overhead. You can slide them along the wall, reaching to the sky. And with the exhale, we'll fold forward. Now you may want to bend the knees a little bit, possibly step out from the wall. Leave the hips up against the wall and fold forward. Let the head dangle, let the arms dangle. Belly rests on the thighs. And we'll roll it up one vertebra at a time. Let the back body roll along the wall if you can get that to happen. Feels kind of good. Almost like a gentle massage. Drop the shoulders. We're back to that mountain. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach to the sky, bringing the hands along the wall, the backs of the hands. And exhale to fold forward. Again, the hips slide down just a bit, but stay in contact with the wall. Bend your knees, rest your belly on the thighs, and let the head dangle. Roll it up. Moving with the inhale. Generally, inhales go with upward movements. Exhales go with downward movements. Mountain pose. Inhale, reach to the sky. We're sliding the backs of the hands along the wall. And this time, take the right hand, pull on the left wrist, and lean to the left, keeping your body up against the wall, the shoulders and the hips. You may find that you don't bend as far as you usually do in this pose if you use the wall in this way. But we still feel the stretch along the left side of the body. Inhale, reach to the sky. And let's lean to the left with the exhale. Again, leaving the hand, the shoulder and the hip along the wall. And finding the stretch. Inhale, reach to the sky. And we'll fold forward again. Hips stay against the wall. Reach forward as you go. Bend the knees. Gentle fold. Now this time we'll take one more step out from the wall. Hips against the wall. And as we rise up, lower the hips. And raise the arms for a chair pose supported by the wall. And this can be a little intense even with the support of the wall. So one more breath. We'll reach the arms forward. Inhale, rising up, slide up the wall. And take a step back, exhale, fold. And dangle. From our dangle, bend your knees as much as you need to bring the fingertips to the floor. Step the feet out wide and fold in a little deeper in this wide leg forward fold. Elbows may be bent a little bit more. Gentle bend in the knees. We don't want to lock anything out. Swaying back and forth, and then let your sway move to the hands as you walk the hands back and forth in front of the feet. So through center to the left and the right, right and the left. And meet me back in the center. Heels in, toes out. Lower the hips just a smidge. And rise up. Goddess pose. Cactus arms. Bring your shoulders up against the back. Hips are against the wall. Arms are against the wall. Now straightening the legs, straightening the arms. Star pose. Hips and shoulders on the wall. And we'll bring the arms parallel to the floor. Point the right foot to the right and sink into the right knee, coming into a warrior two. Now you may need to back the left foot up just a bit as you drop the heel. So we're keeping the shoulders and hips up against the wall. Take your gaze over the right fingers. Now flip the palm. And inhale to reach forward and rainbow the right hand back, dropping the left hand. So we've still got the right shoulder and the right hip against the wall, looking up. And as you exhale, we'll come back through warrior one or warrior two. Bring the right forearm to the right thigh and sweep the left arm overhead. We're sweeping it along the wall and then reach to the place where the wall and the ceiling meet. You can take your gaze up or down, what feels best to your body, and try to keep the shoulders up against the wall. Take your gaze down And then we'll bring the right arm along the wall, left arm to the sky, both arms to the sky, warrior one. So we have the right shoulder, right hip against the wall. And bring it on back to warrior two. Feel both shoulders roll onto the wall, arms parallel to the floor, both sides of the hips, and gaze over the right fingers. Inhale, star pose, legs and arms apart. Exhale, let's find that goddess. So heels in, toes out if they're not. Cactus arms, sink it down. Shoulders and hips on the wall. Inhale, star. And let's take the warrior sequence on the opposite side. So we'll point the left foot, bend into the left leg, scoot the right foot back, working your way onto the knife edge of the right foot, and reach the arms parallel to the floor. Shoulders and hips against the wall. Coming into reverse warrior, inhale to reach forward, and as you exhale, we're drawing a rainbow back, dropping the right hand, keep the left arm along the wall, left shoulder along the wall, left hip along the wall, look up. And exhale, coming back through warrior two, but bring the left forearm to the left thigh and sweep the right arm overhead. Reach to the place where the wall and the ceiling meet. In your extended side angle, gaze can be up, gaze can be straight, or maybe down. What feels best to your neck? Shoulder and hip against the wall. Coming into warrior one, we'll bring the right arm back. Sweep it up, sweep the left arm up as well. Left shoulder, left hip against the wall, look up. And warrior two. Star pose. One more breath here. And we'll exhale into goddess. Sink it down. Inhale to star. And we'll take both sides breath to movement. So we will be moving a little more quickly this time. So exhale, warrior two to the right. Reach and reverse as you inhale, warrior one. Exhale, extended side angle. Keep in contact with the wall. And we'll stay for a full breath here, stretching the left side. Sweep the left arm back. And as we circle it forward, come into warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, star. And exhale, warrior two to the left. So slide into that pose. Check your alignment with the wall. Shoulders and hips. Inhale, reach and reverse. Staying in contact with the wall with the left shoulder, left hip, left hand. Exhale, extended side angle. Kind of moving like, oops, there went the light. Moving like a clock. And we stay for an entire breath. Inhale, warrior two. Or warrior one. Where are we going? We are going to warrior one. Left arm, left shoulder, left hip against the wall. And exhale, warrior two. I'll try to avoid the light switch this time. Where are your shoulders and your hips? Beautiful. Inhale, star. And this time with the exhale, fold forward. Wide leg forward fold. Bring your hands down. Gentle bend in the knees. Dangle the head. Maybe make a box around the head. Reaching for opposite elbows. Maybe you prefer to keep your hands on the ground and walk them from left to right and right to left like we did before. If you've got opposite elbows, switch the cross. Deep inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Release the opposite elbows if you have them. Hands plant, inhale, half lift. Pull the crown of the head away from the hips. Hips are up against the wall. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, so pressing into the earth with the hands. Pulling the crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold. Now this time, take your heels in, toes out, maybe bring them a little closer together. Sink your hips, and we'll come into a yogi squat, finding where it feels good to use the wall as support. Being careful that your mat doesn't slide out from under you. I had that happen when I was practicing this before the video. So don't lean too far into the wall. All right, bring your hands down, one in front, one in back, and come to a seat on your mat. Now, if your mat is, if you've got the two mats and you've already got a T, you are good to go. This is the place where you need to shift your mat from the long side to the wall to the short side to the wall if you've only got one mat. And so we'll meet seated either in the center of a perpendicular mat and the short edge of your opposite mat, or sitting on the short edge of your opposite mat with your hips up against the wall. And so we're coming into a legs up the wall pose. So to come into that, you'll bend the legs. Hips are up against the wall, lean back, kick your feet up gently, and lie down on the mat. Scoot the hips towards the wall, reach the arms wide, and let's just take a few breaths here, just relaxing. Bringing the soles of the feet together, bending the knees and sliding the knife edges of the feet down the wall. We'll come into a butterfly pose supported by the wall. Now your arms can stay out wide, they can reach overhead, maybe cactus, or bring your fingertips together, elbows out. I kind of like that because then my arms and legs mirror one another. Again, just calmly breathing. Extend the right leg long and bring the left foot to the right thigh. So we're coming into a half butterfly shape on the wall. So just let your legs open how they will naturally. And come back to the breath if you lost it. And now we'll straighten the left leg out as well. So we're kind of in a wide-legged stretch supported by the wall. Your legs may not open quite as far, so make adjustments that you need to make this pose feel good, feel some sensation, but not overstretching or pain, nothing like that. Settling back into the breath. Use your hands and help the right leg to bend. We're going to guide the right foot into the left thigh. Settling into that half butterfly. My left leg is wanting to open farther than my right foot wants to reach, so I guess that's where I go. What are you doing right now? You can adjust and then settle into the breath. All right. We're going to help the right leg back towards the sky. Straighten the left leg. So we're coming back to the legs up the wall shape. And this is where we'll take our Shavasana. So take any movement that you need. Maybe you want to point and flex the feet, roll the ankles. I sometimes like to press the soles of the feet into the wall and lift my hips, kind of coming into a wall-supported shoulder stand. And when I'm ready, rolling that down ever so gently. One vertebra at a time. Until my hips find the floor, and then I extend the legs. coming out of this pose, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll the wrists and ankles. Gently bend the knees, slide the feet towards the body, and then roll onto one side or the other. Take a moment here on the side body. And when you're ready, press into the hands. Help yourself to an upright seat. Maybe an easy seat. Maybe you bring your hips and shoulders back up against the wall and use the support of the wall. Let's take one final breath together. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And with the exhale, palms together, drift them down to the heart. And thank you so much for practicing with me today. It's been my honor. Until next time, see the light and be the light. Namaste.